All right, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us today for this presentation on what's new in QuickField 10. My name is Misty Blair. I'm a technical writer here at Laserfiche, and with me I have Tessa Adair, software test engineer, also working here at Laserfiche. And we will both be your hosts today and are super excited to give you a first look at QuickField 10. If you do have any questions throughout this webinar, you can type them into the Q&A box, and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. So this is the third in a series of webinars that we've done on the new Laserfiche 10 product suite. The first webinar covered new features in Web Access 10. The second one covered new features in Laserfiche 10. And this one is solely dedicated to QuickFields due to the amount of new features we've added in QuickFields 10. The limited release of Laserfiche 10 was released in November and is now available to our resellers and early adopters. The full release will be in January at Empower 2016. In this webinar, we'll cover some of the big changes in QuickFields 10, including the new components that facilitate more role-based tasks. We'll show you the new scanning application that's simpler and easier to use, the new document revision with some enhanced review capabilities, and how sessions and document classes can be shared and centrally managed from one location. So anyone who has ever used QuickFields 9 or earlier know that users fall into one or more of these four categories. Some users design and test sessions, determining the rules on how documents are identified, processed, and stored. Other users scan in new documents. Other users review those scanned documents for completeness and to make any necessary edits before sending them to Laserfiche. And lastly, some users configure security based on who can access sessions and what changes can be made to documents when being reviewed. So QuickFields was first designed as if one user performed all these tasks. That user designed the session, scanned the documents, reviewed them, sent them to Laserfiche, and needed little to no security. Well, QuickFields has grown since then, and there have been many user requests and suggestions for more control and flexibility when working with these different roles. Many organizations need to distribute these roles among different users. So QuickFields 10 is essentially switching from a design based on one do-it-all super user to now allowing individual role-based users, which is the primary motivation behind the changes in QuickFields 10. So let's look at the QuickFields 10 architecture. In addition to the original QuickFields application that we all know and love, more users will be able to take advantage of the power of QuickFields with some new components. After you've built your session in QuickFields, you'll be able to publish it to the new QuickFields server where it will be available to other users. From the new QuickFields scanning application, users with appropriate rights can choose from the sessions on the server and load them into QuickFields scanning. Once scanned, the documents can be sent directly to Laserfiche or to a new web-based document revision where multiple people can do the reviewing. And then an administrator can use the new QuickFields administration console to define the role of each user and manage sessions and document classes. So now I'm going to hand it over to Tessa, and she is going to give us a tour of QuickFields scanning.
Hi everyone, I'm Tessa and I'm the lead QA engineer on the QuickFields team here at Laserfiche. We'll start by taking an in-depth look at how a scanner operator can enjoy an easy-to-use and dramatically streamlined experience using the new QuickFields scanning application made just for scanner operators. As soon as a scanner operator opens up QuickFields scanning, their first task is to choose a session based on which documents they need to scan. Quick field scanning shows us all the available sessions in one unified list. To make our choice an easy one, the list of sessions displayed to the user can be configured to show only the sessions relevant to this particular user. We can immediately spot the one we want. In this case, we know that our documents are all related to student records, so we'll open that corresponding session. Upon opening the session, we enter the main scanning view. Up top, you'll see the scan settings associated with your session. Right now, we don't see much else yet because we haven't scanned any pages. We'll begin scanning by clicking the Scan button. As you scan, the scanned documents will populate the document list pane on the left, made for easy navigation through your batch of documents. One particularly useful feature of quick field scanning is the Scanned Pages pane here in the center, which shows the thumbnails for your entire batch. This allows the scanner operator to immediately see any pages that got sorted incorrectly or were captured in the wrong orientation. In our example session, we see that this third document doesn't look like others of its type. It has 2 pages instead of 1. Thankfully, quick field scanning was designed to allow us to easily handle this sort of problem. We'll first investigate the issue by taking a closer look at this second page by double-clicking the page to open up the full image view. After examining the image, we can now make a decision about where this page belongs. Now, I can click the back button to return to where I left off in the Scanned Pages pane in order to make the necessary corrections to this page. It's possible that this page belongs at the beginning of the next document instead of at the end of this one. In that case, we can fix the issue by just dragging the page and dropping it into the correct location at the beginning of the next document. Another possibility is that the page should be its own document altogether. In that case, we simply right-click the page to bring up a context menu and choose to split the selected pages into a new document. This new document is then added to our list of scanned documents, and we can make any remaining edits. If we need to reassign the document class, we can do that by opening the overflow menu for this document and choosing one of the available document classes. Let's say our scanner operator has now ensured that the pages are organized correctly into documents, are in the correct orientation, and are all assigned to the correct document class. However, let's say we also wish to check the metadata of these documents and ensure that all the information was extracted correctly from the image. At this point, we might actually allow another user to do this more detailed review using the new Quick Fields document revision capabilities. But we'll come back to that possibility in a little bit. For now, let's say our scanner operator plans to do all the revision himself or herself. In that case, we'll want to start by double-clicking a document to open up the full image view that we saw before. Instead of just checking one page and going back to the document, going back to the thumbnails pane, this time we'll stay in image view as we move through the document list, comparing the data on each image to its relevant metadata. This type of review can be made even easier by using existing Quick Fields reviewing tools, such as zoom fields, which focus on the relevant area of the image as soon as you click on the field. If you're one of a handful of users who requested the ability to perform actions on multiple scanned documents at once, well, we've heard you. In Quick Field scanning, you can select multiple documents in the document list and then edit the metadata for multiple documents at once. You can also perform other bulk actions, such as reassign document class, store, or delete. By the way, if your session is creating folders, or if you just want to verify the storage paths for your documents, you can access the folder tree view you're used to in QuickFields 9 simply by selecting the documents you want to view the tree for, and then selecting the Storage Location tab in the metadata pane. At this point, let's say our scanner operator has finished their review of the scanned documents. So they'll store their documents by clicking Store. So that concludes our tour of QuickFields scanning. Next, I want to talk about the powerful new component of QuickFields called document revision. In QuickFields 9 and earlier, the functionality for reviewing scanned documents was primarily designed to be used by just the user who scans the documents as soon as scanning is completed. Now in QuickFields 10, you can use the new web-based document revision to instead choose to do the revision after scan time and increase accuracy of incoming documents by allowing additional users to review the documents. Furthermore, it also allows you to get important documents captured and into Laserfiche faster by allowing users to sort through the list of all documents that need review and by distributing the review for a large batch among multiple users. So what exactly is document revision? The new web-based document revision provides a central location for all documents pending review. The interface includes a combined document list that can be configured to show all documents relevant to your individual reviewer. It also allows viewing the document image and making changes to the metadata the same way you would in QuickFields scanning. Users can make their revisions and store right from the browser. Documents sent to revision can be configured to require specific reviewers or multiple rounds of review. If you have particularly important or problematic documents that you want to ensure have the correct metadata before entering your Laserfiche repository, you can use document revision to require one or more users to review the documents before they can be stored. Now that document revision allows people to review the documents who aren't necessarily the same people who scanned them, a large reviewing workload can be distributed more easily between all reviewers. In QuickFields 9 and earlier, if our first scanner operator scanned in a huge batch, but our other scanner operators only had much smaller batches to review, the scanner operators with the smaller batches could finish reviewing their batch very quickly, but wouldn't have a way to help the first scanner operator with the much larger batch. Now, using document revision, all three of the users in our example could scan in the same batches as before, but then store them to document revision, where they could then distribute the more time-intensive review load evenly, ultimately getting all the documents into Laserfiche faster. Another major change for QuickFields 10 is increased capacity for management and consistency across all scanners, reviewers, and any other users. The new QuickFields server promotes consistency across different scanners and scan stations by providing a central place to store sessions and document classes. If you recall from our demo a few minutes ago, when our scanner operator first opened QuickFields scanning, they were presented with a view of available sessions. Sessions can be made available to all scanner operators by publishing a session to the QuickFields server. By using sessions on the server instead of in individual files that need to be moved around or updated separately, means that edits to the sessions are automatically pushed to all scanner operators. To allow managers to control the available sessions and document classes on the server, we've also created the new QuickFields Administration Console. The Admin Console allows you to view a list of all sessions and document classes on the server and shows key information about each. It also allows you to configure various aspects of security tailored to each user's role. For each role that a user might have, security on the QuickFields server makes that role easier. For session creators, you can control which sessions and document classes they can edit. For scanner operators, you can control which sessions are available for use in QuickFields scanning to make it easier for them to choose the right session. You can also prevent scanner operators from editing the shared sessions, yet still keep allowing them to save their own slightly modified version of session settings using something called a workspace, which they can create in QuickFields Scanning. For document reviewers, you can configure which users or groups are needed before a document can be stored. And there is an additional tool for managers that allows them to bypass the review process for a particular document or a group of documents and store the document immediately. Lastly, for those configuring all this security, you can give them rights to do that without otherwise allowing them to participate in scanning or revision in any way. Yet another exciting new capability in QuickFields 10 is the fact that document classes can now be moved around independently of their sessions. This makes session configuration much more adaptable. Imagine you have two sessions for processing employee applications. One is for scanning paper documents from a physical scanner, and one is for scanning from a folder in Laserfiche, which is used to capture the same types of documents when they are received via email. Each of these sessions contains multiple document classes for processing each type of application received. In this case, our scan source varies between the two sessions, but otherwise, the document classes themselves are the same. In QuickFields 9, to do this, each session would need to have its own copies of the document classes, and any changes made to the document class would likely have to be made in both sessions. Now, in QuickFields 10, we allow you to link the same exact document class to multiple sessions, which means that an edit made in the document class would automatically apply to all other sessions that use the same document class. Similarly, you can also easily move document classes from one session to another if the source of those document types changes. Now, I'll pass it off to Misty to finish up.
Thank you, Tessa. All right, I wanted to talk a little bit about how the QuickFields application that we are all familiar with from version 9 and earlier fits into this whole new array of QuickFields components. So version 10 of the QuickFields application contains the same processes and add-ons you're used to in order to build and test sessions. Additionally, we've added new functionality to use with the QuickFields server. So after you create and build your session and test it in QuickFields, you can then publish it to the new QuickFields server, where it will then be accessible to users in QuickFields Scanning or other QuickFields users. Furthermore, if your organization does not rely on different users performing different roles in QuickFields, that's okay. You can continue to use QuickFields as you always have, and then add the new QuickFields server for centralized session storage. You can take advantage of the new components at your own pace and when you're ready. So to summarize what we've talked about today, first we went over the new QuickFields architecture and motivation behind it, which was that users needed QuickFields to be more flexible and individualized instead of an all-in-one application. Tessa did a demo and showed you QuickFields scanning. She also covered the new possibilities for improving accuracy and efficiency that are made possible by the new document revision. And she covered the benefits of the new server architecture, providing role-based security and allowing management of shared document classes and sessions in the admin console. So this wraps up our presentation for QuickFields 10, and we hope you've enjoyed this first look. QuickFields 10 will initially be available by the Empower 2016 conference in January. As I mentioned earlier, this is the last in a series of 3 webinars covering new features in Laserfiche 10. The first look at Web Access 10 webinar showcased the reimagined user interface and lots of useful new features. The first look at Laserfiche 10 webinar covered new features and enhancements in Forms, Workflow, Mobile, Social BPM, and the Laserfiche directory server. Both of these webinars are available on YouTube, with this one coming close behind. All 3 of these webinars will be presented again in the near future, so please spread the word to your fellow Laserfiche users. And don't forget to join us at Empower 2016, where you can learn more about QuickFields 10 and other new Laserfiche 10 features, including hands-on labs where you can actually try out the software yourself. So at this point, we're going to start answering questions you've been sending us throughout the presentation. We will send out answers to any questions we don't get to, and of course, you can always ask your questions about anything related to Laserfiche at our answer site at answers.laserfiche.com. So give us a second to look through your questions, and we'll be right back.
Okay, so I'll start by addressing some questions that you guys have been sending in. So the first question is, are you using barcode sheets to separate the documents? In the example I showed, I was not using barcode sheets, but anyone who is currently using barcodes to separate their documents will still be able to do that the same way in QuickFields scanning. Another question was, so do the new document classes make the document classification superfluous? The new document classes are more flexible in that you can move them between sessions, but it's still useful and important to use a session if you want to have QuickFields sort your documents into different classes. I see a couple questions asking about QuickFields Agent. QuickFields Agent is still available in version 10, but it is not yet compatible with the QuickFields server. So sessions will keep working exactly the same way that you've configured them on QuickFields Agent, but it will not yet be able to use the sessions on the server. You'll just keep using it the way that you're used to. Another question, I see the student names are populating in the far left column under documents. This is from the demo. Did they auto-populate? Do they auto-populate from reading the doc, or are they from a database? In the example I showed, those were actually reading from the documents. So they were using Zone OCR process. So another question was, where is the OCR performed? On the workstation or server? Can DCC be used? Currently, in QuickFields 10, the processing will still occur on the same computer you're using for scanning. So it will be performed on the workstation. If you choose to use DCC, the best option is still to take advantage of that via workflow. Another question was, can you install Admin Console to multiple computers? Actually, Admin Console is a web application So you can use the admin console right from your browser on any computer you want. Another question was about the barcode sheets. So if you weren't using barcode sheets, how did the system know how to separate the documents? In my case, I was using an identification. I was using first page identification based on the title of my documents. Another question was asking, is there ICR now? Can we add it as an extra module? Currently, QuickFields 10 does not include ICR. If you're already adding it, if you're already using a custom process to do that, you'll be able to continue to use that in the same way. But currently, QuickFields does not include ICR. Another question was about QuickFields Agent. If leveraging Agent, how will these QuickFields 10 sessions be visible to the agent, or will we need to create individual sessions as we do today? I.e., we can't take advantage. Can we take advantage of the single dot class to multiple sessions? So, in QuickFields, because QuickFields Agent uses sessions independent from the server, the same way it always has, you'll still be able to take advantage of the flexibility of moving document classes between sessions, because you can do that with sessions on the server, and then you can export them and then use those in Agent. Another question was, will the session file be updated every time it is run? Currently, the date time is updated every time, making it hard to know if the session file was updated by a person. So each time you use a session in QuickFields Scanning, it will not affect the session on the server in any way. So it would not update the modified date of the session when someone uses it in scanning. Additionally, the QuickFields Administration Console also gives you, makes it extra easy to see if a person has actually updated the session file, because it has built-in versioning that can show you things like last modified date and who modified it. One more question said, for invoices, can QuickBooks 10 perform line item extraction / table extraction? This capability is not currently available, but we're investigating it right now, and you should look forward to it in future releases. Okay, one last question, and then any questions we don't have answered now, we'll follow up with the answers later. So for this last question, if a user updates the QuickFields session, will the server sessions auto-update, or can only the admin console do that? So the next user that logs in will have the updated version. This is correct. The server sessions will auto-update. So if a user updates the QuickFields session by editing it and republishing it, or by making edits in admin console, such as linking or unlinking document classes, or making other edits, all of the sessions, or all of the QuickFields Scanning users will see those changes immediately in whatever session they're using. Okay, so I think that's all we have time for right now, but we'll answer, like as I said, we'll answer the rest of your questions coming soon. And I just want to thank everyone for attending the webinar and being excited about QuickFields 10, just like we are.